Hey guys, this one is an IG trading tutorial. I'm going to go through finding some products to trade. Then I'm going to go through 4 really common charting and technical analysis techniques that most traders will use. They're pretty simple and very common. Then I'm going to go over entering trades on IG trading, editing those, and then trading out of those trades. So a full trading tutorial for the IG app, and let's get into it. In the IG Markets app, you'll probably be on this page when you open it up. It's going to be the popular markets page or maybe some watch lists that you've set up. If you want a tutorial about how to set up the app and watch lists, I do have those. I'll link them in the description for you. We're going to get straight into trading though. First things first, make sure you're in the correct account. IG Markets has 2 separate accounts that you can go for. One is CFD trading. You can see that up at the top. That's the account I'm in. They also have spread betting as well. The way that you can switch between them is going to the more option down in the bottom right, then going to accounts. There could be 2 accounts that you can choose from. When you open a demo account, there's definitely 2. So either choose CFDs or spread bets to trade. If you want to know the difference, I have some more videos. Again, I'll link them below, but I'm going to go to the spread betting account. So I'm going to switch that account like this. And now you can see at the top, we are in the spread betting account. So let's go through and trade a market. So let's just click on the markets tab. You can very easily search for a stock right here by the ticker or the name. So I'll put VOD in, press search. This is the ticker in the UK for Vodafone Group, or I can just press X out of there. Press cancel as well. Then we can drill down through many different sectors. So let's go and just trade some indices. So click on that. Then I'm going to go to the UK. Then we have the FTSE 100, the top 100 shares in the UK. So we'll click through that. Then you have a couple of options here. On the right hand side, you can see there are 2 differences, a DFB and a DEC 20. So a DFB is a daily funded bet. This is going to be a normal spread bet. So you are just betting on the price movements of the spot market in the FTSE 100 index. DEC 20 is essentially a future of the FTSE 100. So you can see that actually the prices are a little bit different between the daily funded bet and the DEC 20. DEC 20 is the date of the settlement of that trade. So that will actually just run out on the 20th of December. So daily funded bet is the one that most people trade. So let's go into the FTSE 100 trading screen. You can very easily press buy or sell to start a ticket if you want to go long or short. Other options down here that are important is news. Now with the FTSE 100, it's just going to be very general market news. If you're looking at a stock in particular, it's going to be more pertinent to that stock. So we'll just come out of there and then we can go to the chart. And I'm going to highlight really 4 main technicals or drawings that a lot of traders use and are very, very common. So let's get into the chart and IG Trading will load this up for us. So I have a couple of drawings on here already. And what I'm going to do is take them all off. They will all be down at the bottom for you. You can just press the X on these and they will be removed from the chart as you can see here. If you want to change anything when it does come to the chart, just press down here at the bottom where all these figures and numbers are. So we'll just click on that and then these options come up for you. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually change the chart itself. You can see this option here called types. So right now it's a candlestick, but you can maybe do a line chart or a mountain chart, whatever is your preference. I prefer candlesticks. That's just the kind of chart that I like to look at. So what we can do is also change the interval time for the chart. So let's click on interval. And right now, this is a 10-second chart. So each candlestick represents 10 seconds in time. And the price of the stock at the end of that 10 seconds will leave a mark on the chart. And if it moved down or up in that 10 seconds, that will be represented by either green or red. I'm just going to go to a 1 hour chart like this so we can see it a little bit further out. So we're not getting those very short tick movements. Probably the simplest drawing that any trader will use is just a very simple moving average. So this just takes an average of the prices over a period. So let's come to indicators and you have all these different indicators that you can put on the chart. We're just going to go for a very simple moving average as you can see here. So I'm just going to press that. Then I'm going to press out on the chart and we can see that IG have put a few different ones here. They've put a 20-day moving average in green, a 50-day in white, and a 100-day in that pink color. pink or orange, it's kind of in between. So essentially the 20-day moving average is a simple average of the closing prices of the stock over the last 20 days, and then 50 and 100 the same over that amount of time. We would expect the 20-day moving average to follow the chart closer than the 100-day. Obviously, the longer time period that you have, the more smoothed out that line will be. What simple moving averages do is really just give a very brief overview of the long-term price movements and trends of the chart. So it's a very, very simple, basic tool that you might want to have on there. If you ever want to remove a drawing or an indicator, come down to the bottom, see where the X is, press that, and it will be deleted for you. Then we want to come onto Fibonacci. So I believe this one is in drawings and not indicators. And here it is. So Fibonacci retracement is another very popular tool that traders use. So we'll click on this one and you have to draw this on the chart yourself. Fibonacci really gives traders a lot of levels. So what we can do is press the highs and lows of the stock over a given period. So let's say this would be the high. So I press there and there's a dot, and then we just go to the low period as well. And then on the chart, you can see a bunch of retracement levels. Where I pressed initially, you can see that is at 100, and the second dot that I pressed, that is at 0. That's really important because this is what the chart uses to calculate the retracements. So in essence, Fibonacci retracements attempt to put some areas of support and resistance on the chart and give you some retracement levels. Fibonacci retracements are usually put at about 24, 38, and 50%. You can actually see the percent markings right here. So from that move at 100, a downward move at 76.4%, then another one at 61.8, 50, 38, 23, and then 0. So this is attempting to give us a bunch of retracement levels at different levels. Traders can then use this to see support lines. So this chart on the FTSE 100 has actually broken down through various levels of support. You can see right down through the 70, 60, 50, 38, and 23. It actually bounced off this 0% level. So now on the upside, as it is just moving a little bit up, we would possibly see these retracement levels as areas of resistance. If they would maybe break through them, then there may be a move to the upside. And we would also look for these as areas of support going forward. Obviously, nothing can predict the future. So Fibonacci is just a guide, a very general guide as to what usually some sort of level that traders may look for overall. So it's just going to give you another rough guide as to levels of support and resistance when the chart moves. Let's get rid of Fibonacci though. Very easy. We can come down to the bottom, just click this, and we want to press delete right here just to get rid of that Fibonacci drawing. And the next one is Bollinger Bands. And I think this will be an indicator again. So we come to indicators and then we see the Bollinger Bands right here. So I'm going to click on these Bollinger Bands and you can see this drawing has occurred on the chart. You'll see that there's a white line in the middle and then some orange lines either side of it. Bollinger is another popular tool and it uses moving averages. So these bands can give a trader a very quick overview of trend lines of support and resistance. Bollinger Bands are kind of easier to get your head around than Fibonacci levels. You take the simple moving average. So that's the one in the middle. Then the top and bottom two lines on this chart, they're orange, are 2 standard deviations away from the moving average, that white line. So you can see that both the top and bottom move in line with that. You can change the simple moving average to your own preference most of the time if you want, although most traders do just use a 20-day moving average for that. The Bollinger Bands you can see are actually tracking it very well. So down here, recently, you can see that lower Bollinger Band is somewhat of a support level for this stock as it moves down. So you may want to use that bottom Bollinger Band as an area to trade. So if the price does come down to there, you would think it may bounce off of that support, or if it breaks through that support, then it may go lower still. So Bollinger Bands just try to give a very simple overview of either overbought or oversold charts. We will take the Bollinger Bands off. Click here again to get this chart up, and then the next technical is the MACD. So we're going to search for that again, and we can see that right here, MACD. So we're going to press that, press off of this to see it on the chart. So now you can see down at the bottom, the MACD is right there. There are a few lines and there's a histogram in the middle, that's the bar chart, that really give you an impression of how the stock is moving. So right here you can see MACD, there's a 12, a 26, and a 9. These are all moving averages of the chart. So you have the 12-day, the 26-day, and the 9-day. MACD stands for Moving Average Convergence Divergence. So it's a bit of a mouthful, but essentially it tries to tell traders where the momentum is on the chart. So let's say you have a 12-day moving average and a 26-day moving average. It subtracts the longer moving average from the shorter one, and then you get this signal line, which is on top of the MACD line. MACD is supposed to give you a trend analysis for the chart. The signal line here is used by traders as a trigger to either buy or sell, or more accurately, it's used as a trigger for buy and sell signals within the chart. So if the actual price of the stock moves above the signal line, it's a buy signal, and vice versa. If it moves below that, then it could be the sign that the stock is going to move lower and it's a bear market. With MACD, you should hopefully understand the bullish and bearish signals and also the strength of the move. So you can see right down here, it does follow the chart. When the histogram is in red, it's in oversold territory, and then in green, that is obviously in bullish territory, and the stock is having a bullish move to the upside. You will also see that the blue line down here actually moves ahead of the red line and also the histogram. So you want to watch that line, and if that is crossing over the red line, then it could be switching around and the chart may be moving into bullish territory from bearish territory. Like with all technicals, none of these are perfect. None of these can predict the future. All they can do really is chart the past performance. They are, though, the most popular technicals and drawings that most traders will use on the chart. So we're going to go out of the charting page back to the trading screen, and then we're going to go through actually entering a trade. There's two ways that you can enter a trade. The first is through the deal screen right here. So you can press this and then it comes up with the second screen, either deal, order, or chart. So you have those options. We're going to go through deal and also order. These are slightly different. Obviously the chart's going to take you back through to that page. You can also just enter a deal very quickly. So let's come out of here. You can just press either buy or sell. So if you know you're a buyer, you can just hit the buy button and it's going to open that long trade for you. You just have to input your details. The difference between deal and order on IG markets is the difference between a market order and a limit order. The biggest difference here is if we press order right here, you'll see that you can input order level. This is actually just price. With a limit order, you have to put in your price. So you're going to be dealing at a price that you choose. If we move over to deal, you'll see that you cannot choose the price. This is just going to be opened at whatever price IG can get you at the time that you enter the trade. Let's first put in a limit order. So we go over to order here, and let's say I'm a buyer, so I'm making sure that the buy is selected. You can also press sell, color coded, so really easy to understand which one you are. And then the size you have to put in is the amount of currency. In this case, it's pound sterling that you want to bet per point movement. So you can bet 50p per point, or you can bet £1 per point. The order level is super important. The easiest way to get this up to a level you want is just press either plus or minus, and it's going to input the last price that it had on the screen for you. And then you can go and change this yourself. You can either press plus or minus to move around, or you can just tap in the middle, highlight this, and then you can put in something that you want. So let's say 6,330, press done on that one. Now I'm betting £1 per point, and the price that I want to buy in at is 6,330, which is below the current offer price. So of course, this trade cannot be executed. That's why I want to put in a limit order for IG to work for me. Right down here at order type, I'm just going to press limit. This is a limit order. And then when filled, net off. That's what you want. So you want to make sure that the trade is completely finished and netted off when it is filled. Good till is simply the time that you want it to stay in the system. Because remember, IG is going to work this order for you. It's in the system and they will execute it if they can, but it is not going to trade right now. So do you want it good till cancelled? So that means that the order will stay in the trading system until you physically go and cancel it. And you can choose a date and time as well, maybe good for the day or good for the week. You can just click right here and it's going to come up with these slider bars. It's very easy for you. I'm going to choose good till cancelled though for now. And I'm just going to make sure that we have a price below the current market offer. Stop distance is also super important. This is essentially some insurance. You're going to tell IG Trading that if you enter the trade at 63.27, that you actually want to be traded out of the stock automatically if it reaches a price away from that. And you can see the stop distance is measured in the amount of points away from your entry price. The further the stop distance, the more money you will lose. The stop distance is essentially another limit order. So you're telling IG that if the price in points moves 25 away from me, IG should then just cancel out of the trade and essentially stop my losses and call it quits. So you can put this in as insurance. A lot of traders do. You don't have to have a stop though. The further away that I press this, the more money I'm going to lose, obviously. If the price does get down there, IG will trade it out for me, or you can just put 0 if you don't want a stop loss in there. Limit distance is exactly the same thing, but on the upside. So if you enter a trade at 63.27 and let's say the price moves up 50 points, then IG markets are going to trade out for you, essentially making you your profit, trading out, making you 50, and that's that. You do not have to input stop losses or take profits, as they're called stops and limits here, but you may want to. Another important thing to see is the margin on account. This is the amount of money that you have to put up to enter the trade. This is not the total value of the trade. Margin is only a small percentage of the amount of the trade that you're actually entering into. I won't go too much into margin and what it means. Again, there are other tutorials, so you can have a look at those on my channel. But let's place this order, and this is a limit order, so we'll press place. That order is confirmed for me. You can see how quick that is. I'm gonna tap to dismiss. Then I'm gonna go just to my trades screen right here. So remember, that order is a limit order and it hasn't been executed yet. It's just being worked for us. So we do not have any open positions, but we do have one order in the market. This is being worked right now by IG Trading, and we can see this and also edit this very easily just by pressing it. We come through to that same trade screen. We can then edit our order. You can first see all of the details of the order. You can see the level, GTC, that's good till cancelled, and the size, £1 per point. So that's great to see, but we can edit this. For example, if you want to up the level of the order because you actually want to get it filled, you want to move it closer to the offer, you can do that. Then you can come to edit order right here, tap to dismiss. That has been edited for us. So we changed that. If you want to get rid of this limit order, you don't want it in the system anymore, just delete the order like this, press delete. That will now not be working for us. Tap to dismiss, we now have no working orders. Let's go through and trade at market though. So markets and indices, and then UK indices, and we'll go back to the FTSE 100 to trade this. We're gonna trade the daily funded bet, not the DEC 20. Then I'm just going to very quickly press the buy button like this. £1 per point is fine for me. I'm not going to enter a limit price because I'm in the deal screen and I want to trade at market. I don't want to stop and I don't want to limit. I'm just going to open up the trade, place deal, and that has been executed for us. Now we can come back to our trades and notice we don't have an order working in the system. It's already been executed for us. We have our positions right here. And the biggest difference in your positions tab is that you have a P&L right here. So you can see what your profit and loss is in each of the individual trades, and you can sort these by how much you're up and down in each of the positions if you had 10 or 20, for example. Great to see that my P&L is just a little bit in the red right now. That is going to happen because I paid the offer price and the bid is always lower if you want to sell. Let me touch this one. You can very easily go and edit the position right here. So if you want to enter some stop losses and some limit levels, that's take profit levels, you can enter those here. So if I did this, for example, and just put in a price of 6,200 like this, press done, you can see you can come down and edit that position right here if you want to. I don't want to do that though. I'm just going to press out of there. If you want to close out the position and you want to make sure that everything is over, just press the close position button. You can see the size, £1 per point. That is what I was trading. Very easy. We are now a seller, so that red box is highlighted. You can see the margin to be returned is 316, more or less what we had on account. Close the position right here. That has been traded out for us very quickly. Tap to dismiss, and now we have no open positions. But if we do go to the closed orders tab, you can see that order for us there. Any trades that you have in the last 24 hours will be in there for you to see. Check out the links in the description for way more IG trading tutorials and helpful videos. Subscribe if you haven't done already. That's it for this one though. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.